If you are experiencing foundation issues, get a free estimate from Ox Foundations.
Good morning and welcome back to Daybreak. I'm Tom Roberts from the Greater Coosa Valley Chamber of Commerce. We kicked Jimmy Dale to the curb. He'll be back in just a little bit, but in the meantime, we have a special guest today, the brains of the outfit, as I like to call her, from the Childersburg Park and Recreation Department, Tova Lee. Now, Childersburg has just gone through a wonderful postseason for high school basketball, and we have every reason to believe that things are going to continue on in that direction because our younger kids playing through the Park and Recreation Department, Ms. Lee, have done us proud, and we've got a couple of teams moving on to the state recreational tournament.
Yes, they'll be going to Trustful Saturday, and if they win Saturday, they'll play Sunday. It's our 12U girls, all-girls team, and our 14U boys.
So the future is bright for basketball in Childersburg, but this is a tough time of the year for you guys because you have a situation where you're finishing up basketball, doing some postseason stuff, and trying to transition into the field sports of baseball and softball. How'd registration go?
It's gone really well. We've got several teams. Our opening, we actually have an opening day and opening ceremony. Our opening ceremony is going to be Friday, April the 5th at 6 o'clock, and it will be on the new softball field that they've renovated. And then opening day will follow Saturday. So
we've got a big day, couple of days spread over it so that we can do some, how would you call that, ceremonial stuff and get every kid out there in uniform with their coaches. And I know that they're all busy working hard or trying to as best the weather will allow. But what are some of the other things besides the youth sports that we have going on? I'm throwing a curveball at you because we didn't discuss this. I'm sorry.
Well, we always do an Easter egg thing for the kids at the rec. Not sure exactly which day that's going to be yet because there's a lot going on Saturday. Because I think Councilwoman Angie Twyman, she always does Pleasant Valley, and that's going to be on the 20th of April.
But keep your eyes and ears peeled to go hunt eggs, right? Go
hunt eggs. And then we also go to the senior center next door, and we do hide eggs from them sometime, but they're not always able to hide them. So we do take like goodie bags, and the Easter Bunny dresses up and visits them. And we're also planning on doing that at the Coosa Fest as well. And
well, that's another big one coming up. April gets awfully busy in our area, but this year it's our 479th birthday. That will be on Saturday, April the 13th, and it'll be spread all throughout the town. I know that your crews are going to be busy for all of that, but what are some of the things that y'all do on a regular basis? Like I know normally this time of day, on a regular day, you've been at work for a little bit and opening the door for my wife and others.
Well, we do. We open at 7, we close at 7, so we have a lot of walkers in the morning, exercise, people exercise and walk. Mainly the senior citizens come in the mornings. We have Monday and Tuesday at 6 p.m. we have a lady that does yoga, Miss Cosper. It's $5 a class. And then on Tuesday and Thursday at 9, from 9 to 10, we do a Zumba Gold at the rec. So it's for anybody, it's free. It's just a low impact Zumba. And Candy Mahaffey and Donna Jones teach that every Tuesday and Thursday. We also have our after school kids. They come, the bus drops them off. We do their homework. They play, can be picked up at 5:30. So that's a good program if you're in Childersburg area. We take them from age 5 to 12. And of course we'll have our summer camp coming up too. And we're taking registration for that. Right now it's a $40 registration fee and it's $65 a week. But we do provide breakfast and lunch for them. And since we don't have a lot of transportation, we bring a lot into the rec. I did the reptile show last year.
That was a biggie. That was an awful lot of fun.
And we got a kids zone coming, a truck from Birmingham where they can play games, and we just can't. We don't have a way to get them unless we charter a bus. But we do take a few field trips, Chuck E. Cheese and the movies at least, and a big one at the end, which is usually like the Tennessee Aquarium or the Space and Rocket Center. So it's a great place to leave your kids for the summer. We keep them entertained.
Well, it's more than just entertained. You do an awful lot, what I like to call above and beyond, coming up with creative things. I know that during the holiday season, you raised a lot of money. You raised a lot of gifts and things for the DHR kids that are in the foster system, and it's a real pleasure sitting back from a distance and watching the creative way you approach your job. It's not just finding things to keep the kids and seniors and those in between busy. There are things that actually matter in the community. And one of those things this past fall, you took on something that I know was a very, very time-consuming and difficult process, and you're ready to do it again this year in creating a new festival. Weather didn't exactly cooperate, but it went off without a hitch in spite of that, but the Big Pumpkin Festival. And I'd like to applaud you and the whole staff down there at the Park and Recreation Department because you are an integral, some say the most integral part of the community, and giving people the recreational activities and things that they need to feel more community minded. And that starts and ends with you. I know that Anthony Murphy is gone today for the big conference for District 4 for the, or is it 5? That's 5.
District 5.
For the State Park and Recreation Department schedule, but y'all work together as a team, the whole crew, and it's always a pleasure. I find it difficult to stop by there because it takes too long, because I get in so many good conversations because there's so many personality-filled people such as yourself, and so it's a grand asset. Part of my job is to help sell the city of Childersburg and the surrounding areas a place to raise a family, and I have to say above and beyond is exactly the way to describe what y'all do. We touch on a little bit of it. I know you're not used to the camera, and I can feel a little shakiness in your voice. We got to put you at ease, but it's an important part of the community. But one of the big things is listening. You listen to the folks who come through there, and that's what seems to guide your process of coming up with things to do. If someone has an idea, you're open to it. How do they go about getting something new established through the R.S. Limbaugh Center or outside of that? How do they go about that?
Well, they just come and talk, just like that was the case with the yoga. Somebody mentioned that they were having medical issues and their doctor recommended it, so I found someone that was certified, and it's been a good hit. Everybody, she doesn't always have a huge crowd, but the ones that come are faithful about coming. So just if they just come in there and suggest something, we try to make it happen.
That's a big part of what your job is. Now, there are a lot of things going on in and around the community. One of the big ones that gets a lot of folks' attention is up at the top of the hill, the ongoing project of bridge replacement on Highway 280, and that's something that Jimmy Dell asked me to cover. I try to stay in contact with Dandy and Calvin from ALDOT. They're local folks who are in charge of the project, and try to keep everybody informed about what's going on. Well, there's a big change that's coming. Weather does hamper their ability to work because they have to get everything perfectly level and straight and all that before they can put on the next layer of asphalt. But the next big change is going to be the completion of the portion right at the top of the hill that comes in from the Childersburg-Fayetteville Highway. When that is complete, it's going to mean another major shift in the way traffic flows through that area. You will be able to come back in from the Fayetteville-Childersburg Highway, and you will take a right there to get back onto 280. Not going to be able to take a left. And temporarily, while First Street is still open, you'll only be able to take the right because the new traffic is going to move from what is now the middle lane up to the new portion. Then they will work on widening some of the stretches of that to accommodate the other 2 lanes of traffic. Then all of the traditional 280 traffic will move on to the new section temporarily while they complete the rest of it, and then things will get back to normal. But do realize that there's going to be some major shifts in traffic, and we want you to be aware that those things are coming. It's still about 2 weeks of good weather out before anything like that happens, but it's a big deal for not just the people who travel through Childersburg on Highway 280, but it creates some special challenges for the local citizens who have to get across or get onto or off of Highway 280. I suggest the farther out away from the bridge replacement project that you can do that traveling, the better off you're going to be. I've been testing a few different routes out myself, coming out behind the high school and out by CACC and Heritage South Credit Union. I think that's going to be my go-to area of getting on and off. But be careful, be aware, be safe, slow down, give yourself plenty of time to make whatever adjustments are necessary. We also have something big going on downtown throughout the month of March. They have already begun, and they have a number of special events coming in support of this program. It's called Totes of Hope, where Childersburg's Renaissance Bank branch in downtown on 8th Avenue are participating, along with in a partnership with the Red Cross. And what they're going to be doing, let me pull my notes up here, they will have personal care items that will be collected, that will be assembled into tote bags and then distributed through veteran medical facilities and veteran outreach programs. And it's going to be very, very local, with an emphasis this year on local. They're looking forward to meeting a lot of the area veterans. The idea is to be of support to the veterans, the active military, and their families. And it's a big community support program that last year 167 totes of hope that they put together. This year they want to breeze way past that, up over 200. So when the spaghetti lunch and other things come up, please stop by. And you can also bring the personal care items. We're going to put up a complete list of the types of things that they're working on collecting, along with monetary donations. We'll put that up on the Greater Coosa Valley Chamber.com site today, and we'll link it to the Facebook pages and ours and all the other community pages, so you can see what some of those events are and stop by and support our downtown bank as they yet again go above and beyond. I know I'm using that a lot today, but it's important to understand that our community is important, and that involves being engaged in the community and some of the things that are being done in support of particular segments of our community, as is our rec. I thank you for coming in. I know this isn't a normal part of your duty. I hope my wife won't be too upset with me, because you get there early and let her in to start walking early in the morning. So I'll take the guff for that, because it's always a pleasure to be around you.
Thank you.
And the things that you do in support of the Childersburg area community. And you get a lot of folks that don't necessarily, just like business and schools and everything else, everybody that comes in is not necessarily a part of Childersburg proper inside the city limits.
Right.
But you're not checking IDs and addresses. You try to serve the entire community. Anything else of import that you need to toss out to folks?
Well, the Pumpkin Festival will be October the 19th this year. And on November the 30th, I'm going to try something new with breakfast with Santa at the rec. We've never done that, so that's a new event. And then on December the 14th is our Reason for the Season that we do every year. The mayor actually started that a few years ago, and it will be at Grace.
I think we're about to wrap up. This coming Tuesday the 12th, Childersburg High School and Childersburg Middle School host our Chamber Coffee for March. 8:30, come in the main entrance to the high school. I'm Tom Roberts from the Greater Coosa Valley Chamber of Commerce. Glad to be with you this morning on Daybreak.